Hello everybody. Today I thought we'd have a look at this article from the BBC about all the banknotes and all the coins that have been demonetised but haven't been cashed in. It says almost £9 billion in old banknotes have not been cashed in across the UK, even though the paper £20 and £50 notes stopped being legal tender in October. So that's October 2022. Paper banknotes have been replaced with plastic notes with a series of security features. The Bank of England said the withdrawn banknotes could still be deposited or exchanged. And it also says here 87 million of the old round £1 coins have still not been returned, according to the Royal Mint. And I can understand how that happens because relatively recently I found this in a box from when we moved house, and that was years ago. A few in there. Look, that's a Welsh dragon, royal shield, that's a flax plant. What's that? That's the leek. That's one of the bridges. That is the Egyptian arch bridge. There's a leek. That's the royal coat of arms, a standard one. That's another flax plant. Oh, that's it. That's what I've got in there at the moment. But I can understand why there's so many that haven't been cashed in. And it says here, details of the cash still in circulation or hiding in homes was revealed in Freedom of Information requests by BBC Wales. And you can do that because the Royal Mint is owned by the public. It's a public company, and it's been a public company since the year 886. So that's 1,137 years of public company. Yeah, the Royal Mint is owned by the Treasury, and the Treasury is owned by the taxpayer, the public. I have sent a Freedom of Information request to the Royal Mint, and my request is about the 1953 penny. If you look in this Whitman folder for old pre-decimal pennies, you'll see the mintage figure there, 1,308,400. Now I think that is on top of the coin sets. A lot of people think that the 1953 was only in coin year sets for that year, 1953, because it was coronation year. But I think that 1.3 million was on top of it, because I find so many. There's some more here, look. All 53s, 53, 53. Now this one may have come from a set, because it's so much shinier than the rest. That may have been taken out of a coin set. But I think these 1953s are just circulating coins. 1.3 million circulating coins. And I want the Royal Mint to confirm that for me, or deny it if I'm wrong. Let's go back to this article. The Bank of England said 445 million paper banknotes remained in circulation. Well, they won't be circulating, would they? They're paper ones. They're not legal anymore. No one can take them, so they're not circulation, but they're out there somewhere. 111 million £5 notes, 65 million £10 notes, 198 million £20 notes still out there somewhere, and 70 million of the paper £50 notes. That's unbelievable. Why are they still out there? 198 million £20 notes and 70 million £50 notes. I just can't believe that. And it says paper £5 notes were withdrawn in May 2017 and the paper £10 notes in March 2018. The round £1 coin was demonetised on the 15th of October 2017. I've got quite a few of them. I've got date runs of them as well. And I expect quite a lot of you coiny people out there have got some too. And I think we're going to get a new design on the new pound coin as well soon. So that's something to look out for. And it goes on to say, in addition to the paper cash, the Royal Mint, which is based in... Now, I'm not going to say that, because every time I do it, they say, oh, you pronounced it wrong, you're getting it all wrong. So I'm going to let one of you Welsh people make a soundbite of that, send it to me, then I can put it in a video. And it says again, about 87 million of the old £1 coins have not been returned. However, it says 18 million have been returned over the past year, so people are still handing them in, which you can do. But I'm not sure about this next bit. It says out of the 1.6 billion that have been returned, about 1.8 million were counterfeit. Now, I'm not sure I agree with that, because the reason that they stopped making the old round pound coin was because there was so many forgeries, so many fakes. So if it was just 1.8 million out of 1.6 billion, that's 0.01% just over. That's like saying 1 in 1,000 were fake. We all know it was much more than that. And at the bottom there's another story. Actually, it says King Charles banknotes printed but not yet ready. Yeah, they're all printed and ready to go out into circulation, but I think it'll be another year before we see them. Summer 2024, I think, before they're in circulation. And the reason is they've got to sort out all the cash machines, all the vending machines, everything that takes notes. And that's going to be a technical, high security thing, so it's not going to be quick to do that. And it goes on to say the round one pint coin. And it goes on to say the round. No, you can't get a pint for a pound these days, can you? Anyway, it goes on to say the round £1 coin was replaced by the 12-sided version in October 2017. The old style coin can still be deposited at the post office, but it cannot be spent. I think we've already covered that, haven't we? And then it says, according to the Royal Mint, owned by the UK Treasury, as I said, about 138 million of the £1 coins have been melted down to make some of the new ones. So that means there's still a hell of a lot to be minted down then, if 1.6 billion were handed in. It says the polymer £50 note has a series of security features, as you'd expect. The polymer £50 note, featuring the portrait of Alan Turing, entered circulation on the 23rd of June 2021. Meaning the Bank of England's entire collection of currently printed banknotes is made of plastic. While the paper banknotes are no longer legal tender, a Bank of England spokeswoman said all genuine banknotes that have been withdrawn from circulation retain their face value. They can be returned to banks and some post offices, but the latter will only exchange a maximum of £300. People can also post the old notes to the bank in Threadneedle Street in the City of London to be paid into a bank account by cheque, or if you live in the UK you can exchange them for £300 of the new style polymer ones. I don't get the cheque bit. If you send in the notes you want to pay them in your account, wouldn't you? Well, if I send you a cheque you pay that into your account anyway. I don't get the cheque bit, I don't get that. Old notes can also be taken there in person, but the bank warns of long waiting times. The use of cash fell sharply during the pandemic as lockdowns reduced options for spending. This accelerated a downward trend for notes and coins. However, cash is still accounted for 15%. That's not very much, is it? 15% of all payments in 2022, according to the latest available figures by banking and trade body UK Finance, making it the second most popular way to pay after debit cards. Do you think we'll ever see a full set of coins in circulation for Charles III? I mean, the penny is virtually worthless. Well, so's the 2p, really. And if you think about it, so's the 5p. And what can you get for 10p? All these coins are virtually no buying power whatsoever. Actually, not even the 20 either. Sadly, I think these coins are doomed. And with inflation around 10%, it makes them even more worthless every month. So what do you think? Do you think we'll ever see a set of the smaller denomination coins like these in circulation with Charles III portrait on? Sadly, I don't, but I hope I'm wrong. Right, let's go back to this. And if we go down to the bottom of the page, we've got a graph there. And you can see in 2011, cash was king, definitely. Today, down to 15%. And I reckon in another 8 years, under 10%. I think it'll be even less than that. My mum will be 90 in August, and she has recently started to go to the shop without any cash because she realises all you got to do is flash your card and you're done. So they say the old people like cash. Well, as I said, she's 90 in August. Well, that's my video. I'd like to know what your comments are on this. Please put them below. Please click that like button because that really helps. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video.